it's not so much that there's 6 types of email marketing sequences. There's just 6 reasons to be sequencing emails. You get it? As a SaaS app business owner, you might be thinking, well, how can I use email marketing to my advantage? How can I do it better? How can I do it right? We're going to talk about that in this video. I'm going to also cover the 6 reasons you need to be sending an email sequence to your users. All of this is next on the Dropkick Copy YouTube channel. Stick around. Alright, just to begin with, an email sequence can be as short as 2 emails. It can be an autoresponder plus 2 reminders. So that's 3 emails. So when you think about sequences, we're not talking about bombarding the user with a ton of emails for whatever reason, right? Less is more. It's just about sending the right email at the right time and then chasing that email a little bit to get the response if you're not getting a response. That's what you got to think about first. Setting up email marketing sequences isn't that complex. There's softwares that do this for you. Email marketing softwares, Klaviyo, MailChimp, ConvertKit, etc. There's many. You can pick and choose which one you want to use. You're going to decide based on how much you have to pay per month and how big your email list is and how it scales how the pricing scales as your list grows. So pick one. That's a separate thing. We don't have to discuss that in this email. Just know that making the sequences isn't that complicated. Mapping the user journey is a little bit more complicated. So a lot of this work can happen away from the screen, just with pen and paper, talking to your product team people, your customer service people, your marketing people, etc. Getting a good overview of how this user moves from not knowing your product to knowing your product to using your product and sticking with your product for 6 months to a year, whatever that time period is, and knowing when the user stops using the product too. All of that needs to be mapped out to get a clear picture of what are we trying to do now with our emails to solve whatever concerns we have regarding our user's journey. That's the part that you need to pay attention to. So you need to have a nurturing email list. This is going to be filled with prospects who've expressed interest in what you have to say in your company, in your app. And for some reason, they've given their email to you because they want to hear more from you. And for some reason, they've not tried the app. They're not ready to try or not ready to buy anything. So you keep them on this list. You're going to nurture them. You're going to send them emails frequently at regular intervals. You're going to provide value. You're going to make sure the email is readable, worth reading. You're going to make sure that the open rates are high on this because that's going to increase the chance of them obviously clicking any links inside, which are going to lead them to the app. Right? The focus is on educating, not selling, because they've signaled in a subtle way that they're interested in being educated by you. They're interested in the way you think about the problem that they have. So they're interested in reading this stuff. Give them that. And hopefully over time they get converted into some sort of user who at least tries the free version. Yeah. This list is a forever list. You're going to be emailing them forever as long as they're opening the emails. The people who are not going to be emailed forever and are going to be excluded from the list, removed from the list, are the people who are not opening the emails. Because why? They're dropping your open rates down and they're signaling to you that they're checked out. They're not finding value in the emails you send. Maybe they're not interested in the problem anymore. For some reason, they've chosen not to unsubscribe. If they're not opening, you can clean them from the list, and overall that's going to help your email marketing metrics. Because the thing is, you're going to be paying for each one of these users that are just dead weight on your list, right? You don't want that. So culling this list is important. Every person that opens the email is also going to give you useful feedback in the sense that you can identify what's working and what's not, right? What type of headlines are working, what type of content is working, etc., etc. It's very useful. The onboarding email sequence is your bread and butter. It's how you get your prospects from free to paid. The bunch of prospects that are on your nurturing list, for example, the moment they say, okay, I'm ready to try your app right now, you move them to this onboarding sequence. It can be as long as 7 days, 14 days, whatever that is. If it goes to 30 days, I think that's too much because people fall off within 30 days. You want to get them to their first wins fast. You want to get them to transform their lives using your app as soon as possible. So every resource needs to be made available to them. They need to be welcomed, guided, given webinars, walkthroughs, tutorials, case studies to look at, whatever it is. Give them the top 5 actions they need to take through the app, in the app, that are going to get them to that first win. All of this is going to make sense to you and be easy to figure out if you've done your user journey mapping correctly. I have a whole video where I talk about what goes into onboarding. Check that out. It's on our channel. You gotta remember that all of this is triggered, behaviorally triggered or time triggered. And it's important to know what those triggers are. If you want to get creative with your email marketing, you might find interesting behaviors to trigger emails with, or interesting times to trigger emails with. For example, if the user doesn't log in for 7 days, what happens? Does it mean they've checked out from the app? Should we send an email if they haven't logged in for 7 days? It could mean that. You have to figure out what that means for you and for your app. You have to study your churn rates, study your user journey, know when is appropriate, when it's meaningful to send an email, and that's going to happen by looking for time triggers. If a user is using a certain feature of your app more than most, that could mean that this is the ideal candidate for you to ask a bunch of survey questions. Quick one. Hey, you use this app more than most. We've noticed. What do you think of the feature? Can we do something different with it? Why do you use it so much? Right? So what I'm saying is, outside of the essential sequences, you want to study your user journey, look for signals, time signals and behavior signals that could be used in an email marketing sense to improve your product, serve a business goal, reduce retention, or get people to their first win. Right? And that's up to you. It's purely specific to your app, your users, and what you're trying to accomplish. So you can also have survey sequences, which they're going to help map out your user journey a lot better and refine it and correct misunderstandings, because you're constantly updating your knowledge of what each user feels, sent in the form of surveys, right? So you can gather voice of customer data and incentivize responses too, because sometimes people forget, they don't want to fill the survey sometimes. So if you can add incentives for survey responses too, if you want. And you can get feedback on product features, feedback on the onboarding process, feedback about satisfaction, things like that. And do it in a short amount of time. It doesn't have to be long. 1 to 2 days, 3 days maximum. Get quick feedback about critical things. It improves your overall understanding of the customer. It helps you capture more customers later because you understand them better, right? And it's something you can do in any moment. Every 3 to 6 months you could run a survey, right? You could run a survey immediately after a person went through the onboarding sequence, but didn't sign up, didn't upgrade at all. Find out why. Things like that. You could do the reverse. You could send a survey to a user who signed up for an upgraded version. Why? What made you do it? Right? Things like that. Very useful to have. Pepper it within your overall email marketing, and reap the rewards of a better understanding about yourselves from the perspective of the user, right? And the user as well, understand the user better. Right? So you want to also have win-back sequences, re-engagement sequences in place, because there's users who, they were using your app, they were transforming their life with your app, they were getting benefit, they were paying, but for some reason their subscription expired 30 days ago and they didn't renew, or they haven't logged into the app in a long time. Why is that? Right? You need to find out, and you can do that with a win-back sequence and a re-engagement sequence. This is the perfect time to showcase new features. If there's new features, this is the perfect time to create FOMO, appeal to their sense of loss aversion. And it's also the perfect time to offer a discount code or a coupon code, because I'm referencing like video games, for example. You'd be subscribed to a video game playing every month, and you can't keep up with the payments, let's say. It's the perfect time to say, you love the game. Let's do a thing where we give you a discount on a 6-month subscription. such that your monthly payment is less, right? That's the type of thing that'll win back a former player of a game, right? And such things apply to other SaaS apps as well. You can create ways to win people back, having this sequence in place to deliver the offer. And it doesn't necessarily have to be an offer. It could be a sequence that leads up to a call, a sincere call. Maybe it's a high ticket app, right? A sincere call with the customer service agent. Say, hey, we'd like to know what happened. Why did you churn out, right? You'd want to know that. So this is the ideal time to try and win people back 30 to 60 days after the subscription has expired. What it shouldn't be used for is to reach out to prospects that have gone completely cold, like they've not logged into the app in a year, they don't even open the emails, etc., etc. This is not for that. It's not the same thing. You want to have transactional email sequences in place for when transactions occur. When a payment goes through, we send an email saying, hey, your payment went through, right? And it's branded and everything, so that's a transactional email. But it's also part of a larger sequence, because if a payment didn't go through, or a prospect put something in the cart and didn't complete the purchase, you want to have an email sequence set up to respond to that too. Like, hey, you've put this in the cart 30 minutes ago and you've not completed your purchase. Do you want to complete your purchase now? Very simple. And then if they take no action, 24 hours later, you can send another one. And maybe 3 days later, you can send another one if they don't take action. So that's a sequence. What you want to be doing is reminding them that there's some action they need to take, reminding that's related to a transaction. You want to remind them that they were about to make a great decision, and they're stalling on a great decision, right? And you want to remind them that if there's anything urgent, if there's urgency, like if the offer's running out, you want to remind them of that too. Hey, you've only got these many days left. Please complete your purchase. So very simple. That's a transactional email sequence. All right. I hope all that makes sense. So it's not so much that there's 6 types of email marketing sequences. There's just 6 reasons to be sequencing emails. You get it? There's a reason to have a nurturing email sequence. There's a reason for onboarding. There's a reason for transactional emails. There's a reason for sequencing surveys. There's a reason, right? There's a reason for looking for time triggers and behavior triggers. This is the type of stuff you need to be looking for. And it can all be set up in your email marketing software. You can get as creative as you want. Just don't overload the user and be specific. Every sequence has a goal and every email has a goal. Every email's goal is subservient to the sequence's goal, right? Don't be adding emails that don't have a goal, right, in your sequence. That's basically it. I hope this was clear. This has been a Dropkick Copy YouTube email marketing video. Thank you for watching. Till the next one, take it easy.